And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to what could be the last race here on the SJ Sports Channel if the Rapture comes tonight. We are here ready for the Mobil1 Cup Series race here at Dover, getting ready for the running of the 5-hour Energy 200. It's going to be a wild one today. We had an unbelievable finish in the Truck Series race yesterday, which actually quite surprised me too, because I did a lot of testing at this racetrack, and there was an awful lot of single-file racing that took place. I was really surprised that they actually stepped out of line, put together some good double-wide racing and hard racing for the lead and the win in the Truck Series race. Let's hope they can pleasantly surprise me here today, as we've got 42 cars ready to roll off here today, and a brand new points leader atop the Mobil1 Cup Series standings as well. First time this season, Dylan Young has been the points leader, and he's going to start off in the 5th position here today. On the pole, though, for today's race, it's going to be Hayden Klein in the 18, who really is looking for some success over here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, as he currently sits mired in the 23rd position in the point standings. Hayden Klein just recently went to victory lane in the Snickers Cup Series, so maybe, just maybe, he can transfer some of that momentum over here and get himself a Mobil1 Cup Series win in that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Alongside of him, completing the front row, is going to be Danny Wells, another driver who really needs to get out of the blocks. Currently 38th in the point standings is Danny, and so Dover could be a place where he could finally get himself back on track, get some good momentum heading into the All-Star Race weekend, which is coming up in just about 3 or 4 weeks. Then you got William Duncan. He is going to line up in the 3rd position. William Duncan also not doing as well in the point standings as he would like to, 36th in points, so he'll be in the same boat as Danny Wells as far as trying to get some positive momentum on his side. And Carson Gum is going to line up alongside of him in the 4th position. Carson actually comes in 18th in points, just inside the top 20. Carson has an opportunity today. If he can maybe come away with a win or something, we could see him maybe inside the top 10 in the standings. And then, of course, completing out the top 5, as I said before, the new points leader, Dylan Young, who comes in with a 7-point advantage over Sean Galligan, and then a total of 15 points over Skye Commons, 18 points back to Mason Wood, 19 points back to Mason Wood, I should say, and then 22 points back to Stephen Pollard III. That is the top 5 in the point standings. Ralph Mason, Charles Sanford, last week's winner Emilio Navrick, Kellen Wise, and Carson Bechtel. That's the top 10 in points as we head into today's Monster Mile event. We'll keep an eye on all those drivers during the course of today's event, and we're also going to keep an eye on, we saw Dylan Poteet. He rolled off from 41st position in the Truck Series race, ended up finishing in the 2nd position. So these drivers are able to move themselves up through the field, apparently. We'll see if any of these guys who start at the back of the pack here today maybe able to move themselves up and put themselves in a good position to win today's event. The 5-hour Energy 200 moments away from being run. Here is your 42-car starting lineup at Dover. Then getting ready to go under the green flag for 20 laps of racing here today. We saw in the Truck Series race they did not have to pit. They were able to run the full 20-lap event, so probably these cars won't have to pit either. It's just going to be down to who's going to be able to make the right moves at the right time. As the green flag is out, Hayden Klein leads him into turn number 1. Already inside line seems to be the line that's going to move, as William Duncan now going to peek out of line. He's going to look for the lead just like that, but can't do it. Hayden Klein going to hold him off in the 18, so Hayden Klein, the Nyko GameStop Toyota's going to lead, and wow, buddies Jake Rowell takes it front. Dylan Young, the points leader, just got hit, and I think he's on his roof. Oh man, it's a mess. Carson Bechtel is in there. Oh man, Trent Dunham, Jordan Hester, I should say. And there are more drivers involved there than I would like to even wager, oh my goodness, Tyson Broad, oh, there's Carson Gubb, Stephen Pollard III, James McLeod, more wrecking up here, involving Danica Shirley, Daniel Day, Jeffrey Fingai, Joshua Michaels is on his roof, Megan Atkins is involved, there is Richard Johnson smoking with his hood up in the air, and more drivers heading for pit road, the two Bass Pro Shops Chevys, Kellen Wise, Trent Dunham, Seth Cole is involved, Anthony McCurry is involved, Danny Wells, last week's winner Emilio Navarrete, James Qualls has gotten a piece of it, Mason Wood is involved, Charles Jackson, Dylan Poteet, there's Eric Burton, there's Matthew Daly. It'd be easier to name off the drivers that were not involved. Aaron Williams Jr.'s gotten a piece of it, Ralph Mason's involved, there's another car heading for pit road, that's Stephen Pollard III. And from looking right now at the front of the field, I'd say only about 10 to 15 cars got through that entire incident. And I named off a lot of top contenders inside the top 10 in points. Dylan Young, Mason Woods, Stephen Pollard III, Ralph Mason, Emilio Navarrete, Carson Bechtold, and Kellen Wise. Boy, they say Dover is a game changer. I think it just changed the face of the top 10 in points with one swift blow. Hayden Klein is the current leader, though. We'll head back and look at a replay of what happened. Contact between Tyson Broad and the points leader, Dylan Young, brings out the caution for the first time today here at Dover International Raceway. Here's a look at it. The points leader, Dylan Young, wasn't exactly in any precarious position. He was running right there in the middle in a three-wide situation, but really didn't look like they were giving each other a hard time. And this is where it's going to happen coming out of turn number 4. Watch behind them, the two blue cars, Anthony McCurry and Jake Rogers. They make contact right there. And then Tyson Broad, boy, you know, Tyson's going to have a little bit of explaining to do, I think. He just comes up right into the 30. Dylan Young never moved. He held his line. Tyson Broad came up into him. Now, of course, Tyson would have to come up a little bit to be able to enter into the corner, but not up into the 30. And there you just see them all get involved there. Anthony McCurry had absolutely nowhere to go. I think there's going to be an incident further up that we'll document in a moment. Look at Ralph Mason up in the catch fence. Emilio Navarrete, Carson Bechtold, Danica Shirley, James McLeod. They're all involved in it. Jordan Hester in the Dollar General Toyota. Charles Jackson there in the Rain-X Chevrolet. Trent Dunham, you can see, is around. I think Adam Chambers may have gotten through it. And there's Skye Commons on the high side with Dylan Poteet. Now, we know Poteet did get involved in something. Let's move further up here. Oh, yeah. How does this take place here with Seth Cole and others? Did they get into Tyson Broad? Yeah. Seth Cole's going to come in, and oh man, the 32 and the 3 just come down just a bit too far for Seth Cole's taste, and he's going to get involved right there. And then how does Dylan Poteet and others get involved here? Okay, here comes the 25, the green car of Matthew Daly. Does he get involved in something here? No, it must be something further up. Question is, though, what? Does somebody run into the back of somebody else? No, this must have happened another lap later, maybe. Let's see. I know that it was Dylan Poteet, Matthew Daly. Those drivers all got involved in whatever this was. Okay, this was coming back around to where the incident was. Oh, they all just started running into the back of each other. Look at this. Commons into the back of Galligan, Poteet into the back of Commons, and then Matthew Daly, Charles Jackson gets jacked way up, so does Poteet, Mason Wood and Eric Burton, and Aaron Williams Jr. Oh my, look at the hits! Look at the air by some of those drivers. They just never slowed down coming out of turn number 2. And a lot of drivers who had been able to make their way through that wreck with very minimal damage now find themselves badly damaged. Here's Carson Bechtold just got a piece of the Mason Wood machine. Then Jordan Hester gets a piece of it right there. But my goodness, that is the reason that just happened. And there is Stephen Pollard, the third, 5th in the point standings. There are going to be a lot of top contenders who came in running top 10 in the points. They're going to be involved in this one. And may DNF just like that. The Monster Mile taking a big bite out of this field, no doubt, as we're going to have only a handful of cars left when we return to the racetrack. Let's head back now and see just exactly who's going to be finishing out today's event, as we are not even yet halfway in today's 5-Hour Energy 200. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 7 of 20. Here's the drivers that are out of the race after the events you just saw take place. Emilio Navarrete, I'm not sure if he's out or not. We're going to have to get official word in just a moment. He may be a lap down in 22nd. He is. So he is still on the racetrack, but he is a lap down. These are the drivers officially out of the race. Matthew Daly, Eric Burton, Mason Wood, Danny Wells, Anthony McCurry, Trent Dunham, Carson Gum. The points leader, Dylan Young, will finish in the 30th position today. Not the way he wanted to come in with his debut atop the point standings. Tyson Broad will retire in 31st. Danica Shirley is out. James McLeod, Jeffrey Bengay, Joshua Michael, Seth Cole, Megan Atkins, Stephen Pollard III, Kellen Wise, Daniel Day out of the race. I'm not sure where he got involved. Richard Johnson and James Coles, they have all gone back behind the wall, leaving us a total of 22 cars on the racetrack. 21 lead lap. Top 10 as we go back to green are Hayden Klein, William Duncan, Bob Jones, Jake Rogers, and James Silverfox. Then it's Wolfgang Mason, Charles Samper, Sean Henley, George Rope, and making his debut in the Mobil1 Cup Series, Isaac Canepa is currently running in the top 10. What a great job he's done so far. As they got the green flag there, Emilio Navarrete proving no handicap for these lead drivers. They're all going to start getting around that damaged and wounded 99, our winner from last week at Talladega. And Hayden Klein opening up a little bit of daylight for himself and William Duncan. That mostly in part due to the fact that they had to get around the 99. Advantage right now about 2.5 car lengths. How about Bob Jones? What a great job he did getting through that wreck. Bob Jones just last week had hard luck at Talladega. It dropped him outside of the top 10 in the point standings. And what we said with all these drivers that are out of the race, this could be a big opportunity with him running inside the top 5 to get himself back into the top 10 in the standings here in his rookie season for that Morgan McClure Toyota team. Jump further back here, there's James Silverfox, currently running in the 4th position right now. Silverfox, former winner this week, or not this week, but this year, I should say, winning at the road course of Thornton. He's currently 13th in the standings, and same deal as Bob Jones. He could very easily move himself into the top 10 in the point standings with a good run here today. Behind him, Wolfgang Mason and Jake Rogers. Now, these are two drivers who really needed good runs here today. Wolfgang Mason currently 28th in points. Jake Rogers comes into today's race 26th in points. These guys have kind of taken advantage, I guess, of the hard luck that's been had by a lot of the top contenders in today's event. Sean Henley there for Phoenix Racing, lining up in 7th place. Henley comes into this race 21st in points, so good run today. We move him into the top 20 in the standings, no doubt. Don't know exactly where he places him. We may move him as far up as into the top 15 in the standings before all is said and done. Isaac Canepa, what a great debut for this driver for Penske Racing, replacing Tryfon Reed. Canepa doing an excellent job. We've also received word there's some more changes happening over in the Penske Racing stables. Seth Cole at the end of race 10 at Infineon, he will be stepping out of the 22, being replaced by developmental driver Alex May. So he'll be making his debut for the Penske Racing boys at race 11, which I believe is going to be at Daytona Beach. I may be incorrect in that. How about Charles Samper? We've talked about the drivers who have had hard luck inside the top 10 in points today, but Charles Samper comes into today's race 7th in the standings, and he looks as clean as a whistle. No damage at all on the 40. He got through that wreck. He's running solidly inside the top 10 now. We could see Samper up inside the top 5 in points after today's event is over. One driver before we, well actually let's complete the top 10. Oh, there's the driver I was going to look at. I was going to try and find Sean Galligan. He's back in the 10th position. Galligan could be the points leader today because of Dylan Young retiring back in the 30th position. According to right now, he is the new points leader. It'd be the first time Galligan gets back atop the standings since Daytona after he won the season opener. The defending champ looking pretty good right now, even though his car is damaged, still running inside the top 10 on the racetrack. Dylan Poteet been able to survive as well. Both Twinix cars turned inside the top 11. Poteet currently comes into this race down in 27th place, and that's after he won at Phoenix and was inside the top 10 for the first 4 or 5 weeks of this season. Poteet doing very well right now, trying to get back on the road to recovery. Back in 12th place, that's where we find Adam Chambers. Now, Chambers is another driver who's really been having hard luck in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. 31st in points, but he's having a great run today after he did a yeoman's job of getting through that first wreck. There's Skye Commons behind him. Skye Commons, if Sean Galligan had retired, could have been in the prime position to maybe walk away with the points lead today. He comes in third in points. The rookie points leader doing very well, now passing Chambers for that 12th position. As back here is Jordan Hester in the 14th position, having a great run, even though we know he got damaged in that wreck, but still a good representation here for Joe Gibbs Racing. And look who's rounded out the top 15. With no hood, Aaron Williams Jr., and he's about to maybe lose that spot to Charles Jackson, as we've just gotten the signal that there's a total of 2 to go. Man, these laps have winded down quickly, and William Duncan is right there with Bob Jones and James Silverfox. Will we have a finish like we had in the Truck Series race? White flag is in the air. Hayden Klein, William Duncan, Bob Jones, James Silverfox. These four are going to settle it. Can Duncan make any kind of a move on the 18? Down the back straightaway, Hayden Klein has led every lap so far after starting on the pole. Looks like he's going to lead the important one, the final lap. Out of turn 4 for the final time. No move by Duncan. Hayden Klein wins the 5-hour Energy 200 at Dover International Raceway, leading all 20 laps here today. Well, not quite as much passing in this Mobil1 Cup Series event as we had in the Truck Series race, but still a pretty doggone exciting race. Seemed like it was more a race of survival than it was a race as far as passing for position. And Hayden Klein, his team giving him a fast enough car to start on the pole position for today's race was enough to keep him out in front, hold off the challenges of William Duncan for 20 laps. And Hayden Klein finally goes to victory lane here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Just 1 week after picking up a Snickers Cup Series win, so that's definitely a wave of momentum there for Hayden Klein and that 18 team. Klein came into this race 23rd in the points. We'll have to see where it puts him as far as the standings go leaving Dover International Raceway. William Duncan, though, what a great job he did, keeping himself in that runner-up spot. He'll finish in second. Bob Jones could be back inside the top 10 in points with a third-place run today. James Silverfox, same deal for him. He's in fourth. Wolfgang Mason's going to finish in fifth. Jake Rogers, he's been putting together some really good runs lately. He's in 6th. Sean Henley in 7th. What a debut for Isaac Canepa in the 8th position here for his first start in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Charles Samper will finish the day in 9th. And the new points leader heading into next week's race at Infineon is going to be Sean Galligan after he completes today's top 10. So, folks, we may have a point shakeup before all said and done. Question is, who's going to move into the top 10 in points? Who's going to fall out of the top 10 in points? All those questions are going to be answered very soon. Hope you will tune in for the Snickers Cup Series race, which is sure to be a wild one as well. That'll be coming your way in the near future. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Helps me out a lot. Here comes your official finishing results, overall point standings, and rookie point standings heading next week as we head to our second road course stop at Infineon on the West Coast. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.